everyone. Today on Binky's Gaming Thoughts, unseen and unheard of Races of Thedas. There are a few races in Thedas that we have yet to encounter. Today I will explore these races with what we do know of them and speculate a bit to fill in the gaps. The Thex. Very little is known of the Thex other than the fact that they are native inhabitants of Parvolan. Parvolan is an island north of Rivain and is the largest known home of the Qunari. It is said that the Thex have now all converted completely to the Qun. We don't know if that was by choice or by force. If the Qunari came from elsewhere and needed that land of Parvolan, it would make sense for them to conquer it or befriend and convince and convert the beings. To conquer it, they could have done so by force of arms or negotiated and convinced the Thex to join the Qun and see victory against the Southerners. But if that's the case, then why have we never seen the Thex before? And only Qunari. Maybe now that we're going to Tevinter, we will explore regions that will allow us to perhaps encounter them. Maybe they also bear a close resemblance to Qunari that we never noticed. Who knows? Maybe the Qunari are the ones with the horns and the Thex are the ones without the horns, and maybe Sten, who's a Qunari, originally stemmed from a Thex? Who knows? The Kossith. Kossith is apparently how the Qunari were called before the Qun was established. It could either be the actual name of the race or the name of the culture the Qunari came from. Kossith could also encompass more than one group. Apparently, most of the Kossith had converted to the Qun by the time 630 Storm had rolled in, some 214 years ago. Apparently, the Kossith used to honor animal gods. Interesting. Who could bear resemblances to the animal forms of the elves. However, eventually, when the Qun became law, the temple and those gods were destroyed, and their priests either re-educated or exiled. So if we want to encounter Kossith, they would have to be exiles and descendants of those exiles. History has it that in -410 Ancient, a group of Kossith arrived in the south of the Kokari Wilds and established a colony. It is believed that these were later captured by Darkspawn during the First Blight. Apparently, the female Kossith were transformed by the Darkspawn into brood mothers, who gave birth to ogres. It is guessed that the land afar where the Qunari came from, across the northern ocean, was likely also the land of the Kossith. So it came from like a similar region. The term Kossith, however, is seldom used and only taught to scholars or few rare Tamasrans, who are a branch of female priests. There is one known Kossith in history, one known by name, Ashkari Kozlun, who was a philosopher, and he founded the Qun. We remember the Tome of Kozlun that Isabella ran off with? Stole from the Arishok in Kirkwall? I suspect that Kossith are actually Qunari who never converted to the Qun, the original race, before the Qun. Now all are Qunari, as we know them, who serve under the Qun, or are Tal-Vashoth, who turn away from the Qun. So Qunari serve the Qun, Tal-Vashoth turned away from the Qun, started as Qunari. It would be interesting to discover if any Kossith remain, the original ones not converted ever to the Qun, who rejected and refused the Qun. Perhaps secret allies of Tevinter, or future allies. Apparently they had names and not titles, and according to Iron Bull, they didn't look like Qunari. maybe they're the ones who bred the first Kunari by mixing dragon blood and their own species, as is suspected, in which case, whether if allies or even if not allies, it's possible they may have realized what they created when one of their own creations created the Qun. Or maybe they're enemies, and far worse enemies than we may yet realize. Tum tum tum! The Scaled Ones. Described on Dragon Age Wiki as a mysterious reptilian race. The name of Scaled Ones is not a self-designation, but what they have been called by others. These beings are humanoids covered in scales, with big jaws and sharp talons. Warriors wore armor, priests wore robes, and could breathe fire. History has it that the Scaled Ones went to war with the dwarves in negative 1195 Ancient, shortly after the founding of the Tevinter Imperium, and before the destruction of Cadhalash Taig, which occurred in negative 975 Ancient, so between those two dates. Apparently they vanished from historical records and have not been seen ever since. So it's hard to tell who they truly were and where they truly came from, or they are another vanished being with a different name. An altar shaped like a fire indicates that these Scaled Ones were spiritual. Apparently the altar held enemy corpses, which were drained of their blood, hanging on the tip of each flame. Dwarves from that time claimed that a female priest was chanting while igniting blood in a basin raised to the altar, so setting the blood on fire. Fire blood! And that others bowed low during the ceremony. We are not worthy. So let me know some of your theories on this, about these beings we have yet to encounter, that we have not seen yet. As usual, like this video if you like it, subscribe to be Rosie approved, and I'll see you all soon. Masaranas. If you're new here and you like my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. Alternately, you can follow my website, binkyproductions.com, where I post everything from all my channels. Be sure to check out some of my other stuff. You can also join in on the fun on Patreon for some random, sporadic, occasional, exclusive content. Otherwise, just liking and sharing, like it if you like it, for the like it if you like it dance, supports this channel and helps people find it. And your continued viewership is very much appreciated. Masaranas.